these LED flex lights. I'm going to show you how to get 2 6-inch strips off of these 12 inches so you can do the front and the back of the vehicle. And these are the pink ones we're going to put in the girl's car. And so from these pink ones, you're going to have the critical to come off. You're going to have a fuse, which is about 10 amps. These pull very little per hour. 20 amp, which converts with the 10. Switch, which is, this is a toggle switch. And then you got a mounting panel for the 1 hole. Right, so once you get that switch all set up with the holder and the switch, it should look like that. And it comes with 2 screws, and you'll be able to mount it right up to any place you want. And then here you're going to need your ground, your accessory wire, and your power wire to that, which I'll show you what that looks like. Here's your fuse. What you want first, you're going to come right off the battery of this kit, and you're going to ground directly to the frame. This is the last time you'll see your lights light up from this process. You're going to cut them. It comes with this battery pack that lets you test them in the store. You're going to get rid of that. Simply cut that one off, and then you're going to cut this one off, and then you're going to discard this as useless, this little battery pack. From there, it's just untwine, and we're going to set up some wire. So you're going to need from your battery to the switch, you're going to need probably about, give yourself 3 to 4 feet of wire. Get your wire, that's about 4 feet of power wire. This is a 14 gauge. Put a male and female end on, and it's a matter of hooking up your switch. So you just go and find where your power is, power supply, hook it on that one. Then what you'll have is same thing, about 3 to 4 feet of black ground wire. You have male end and the ground connect to go to a screw, and that's going to just clip right on there and right to your ground. Then what you're going to have is an accessory light. So once this is powered, this will operate. The center one sends the load out, which this is going to be your positive or your load wire to the actual lighting that you'll tap into. Have that on there. Okay, so then you can see there's your switch. They'll operate and light up, and it will turn the lights on. So on the other end of your red wire, and the nice thing about this is you set it all up before you actually have to tinker with the car. So you got your fuse, battery. This will end up dropping to your battery on the positive, and then you, after that male end, is just going to hook up right in here. But I did put these ends on. The kit did not come with those 2 ends, so you got a male and female connected, and it's sealed. So once you get there, there's your battery, there's that, your wire runs in. The black wire, and then your power wire ground is going to run to the battery. Alright, so after you get the wiring kind of laid out, then you're going to take these lights, and there's spots you can cut them. And this is to do them. These are about, I don't know, 22 bucks, 23 bucks. And then you can actually make other ones. I'm going to show you a quick way to solder them up that I found that works pretty good for myself. So you'll just end up cutting these. I'm going to make some 6 inches, which would cut here once you follow the line. So these are all wired up. This will be your driver's side. This will be your rear passenger. Cut this one. Will be your rear passenger. I did cut a small piece off of this to run for the center dash. Let's hit the one with the wire off to the side. And then you're going to take, you got these three pieces. These are going to be your rears, and this is going to be your center. So you're going to solder them up. And it's simple. You have these two dots with the positive and negative. And all you got to do is cut back the gel coating flat to the little circuit board. And once you cut that down flat, you'll peel this back, and then you'll solder wire here and here, and you'll have about how much length you need, between a foot to 5-6 feet, whatever you need. You'll be able to pull that rubber silicone back, and it'll expose the positive and negative. And then you're going to have your wire. Make sure you do positive with the line to your positive, and then you're going to put something down so you don't damage your table. And for this part, you're going to call in an assistant. You're going to call in a friend. I called in my friend Baba Gaboosh to give us a soldering hand, because it's going to take two people. So take this here, hold that back, because it's nice to flat back over the solder joint when it's completed. And you're going to come in here, and you're going to solder. There you go. Alright, honey, go ahead. Now that you got it soldered, it'll look like that, and you can fold that silicone right over, give it a good seal, and then before you do seal it up, you have Baba Gaboosh give you a hand. If you have a converter, you can check this in your house. It's good to have a small little converter that you can just wall plug that changes from AC to DC, and you give it a little check, hook on those connectors, and boom, you got a light. Well, you just give your ends, seal that end up, tape it up, and these are set just like the factory ones. Alright, so once you got them all soldered up, you ended up making this one here as the longest one for the driver side under the footwell. This is the center, probably about wherever you want it on the center console somewhere. And you're going to have a second one under the passenger's side footwell, and you end up with two even ones that are going to be in the rear driver passenger side rear footwells. And just before we everything's ready to go, you got your wire harnessed. After that, we're just going to line them all up together, have them all up and lit, and then you're all set to install your harness and all the lights in the car. So there you got them. They're all up and running. You got 5 lights out of a 2-light 12-inch strip. You end up enough to do the whole vehicle, and it's got enough power. It looks pretty good. I will wire them up off the wire harness, and the simplest way I find, once you install everything and then you need to tap these lines, which all they are is positive and negative, is you just use these simple quick connects. They'll snap in, and basically all you're doing is it's just a load wire or accessory wire off of your switch for every single one of them, and then a ground. So and off your switch here you got your accessory wire, which we did off the blue, which was the center of your switch, and then your you just tap into your ground wire, all the ground wires off of the lights themselves. Everything of positive is going to go to your blue. That way when you hit your switch, you have the red power to your battery to the switch. You're breaking it, interrupting it with the switch, and then when you cut the switch on, it's going to send power into the blue wire, which all your positives from the lights are going to be tapped into the blue. Now we'll go on to the install. We ran the power wire to the positive of the battery, the ground to the negative of the battery. Both of these wires, the hardest part is getting the wires through the firewall of any install. Once you find a spot and get them through, it's pretty simple after that. Come back to here, It shows there's your fuse. The best thing to do is do your connections, but leave this positive power connection right here where it's separate. Leave that apart and then plug it in after your install. That way you don't short circuit anything. So then once you get your wires through, you'll end up with them just like we showed. You have usually your top one is going to be your power wire coming in from the battery with your fuse, and then your ground wire right there, and you leave that, and then your middle one would be your accessory. So when you turn the switch actually on, you can have these switches light up, and then they'll run. You just tap, you leave enough wire, and then you tap into your ground wire on your negative side of the lights, and then in your center one would be your positive, and all you're doing is sending power when you turn the switch to the lights. So your positive goes to your middle. So I didn't install the switch yet, so you can see, you find a good location for the switch, and then you lay out all your lights. Okay, so now you got your lights all set. Kick them on. You can turn off your main lights here, and you can see driver side, passenger side. You get the center console. You got a light in the center console. The rear of the vehicle. Nice glow. Gives a good color. Not bad for $50. Just make sure you shut off your switch, so you don't want to drain your battery. I wouldn't recommend driving with them on. In most states it's illegal to drive with them on. I can show you the blue lights in my truck. Alright, here you got the same concept in my Chevy Silverado. You got blue ones. Driver side, passenger side. Here we got a different type of switch. I can give you a good shot of that after. And these would do the same thing, one in the center, driver side, passenger side, rear. Rear of the vehicle looks good. And the front of the vehicle, and we even added one here. You can get a little creative with it. Probably do your cup holders and everything else with the same type of setup. In the next video, I'll show you how to make them move to music.